Welcome to week 4 of journaling through Advent, and we have come to the week of peace. So, as I was thinking about what symbols and gestures represent peace, there are a lot of different cultural symbols out there, but I thought for my page, I'm going to use the gesture of the outstretched hands with the idea of you are sending peace out and you are also accepting peace in. And in this era of viruses and germs, this is an option. Instead of shaking a hand and offering peace in greeting, you can offer peace to someone this way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a contour line drawing, which means I'm going to be drawing slowly and as much one continuous line as possible. If it's more comfortable for you, go ahead and put your hands down on the page where you think they fit. And I'm working here on just a scrap paper. Put them down on top of your journal in that gesture, that outreaching gesture. And then, there is nothing wrong with doing your contour line like this and just tracing your fingers. This is about what is going to allow you to have a time to contemplate peace and the way you give and receive peace in your life and with the people who are in your life, and the way you give and receive and send Christ's peace out to the world. So feel free to trace. Feel free to work in pencil. I'm going to do my contour line drawing with this Uniball Signo. I've also set my page up so that I'm going to be working on 2 pages. So if you want to work smaller on just 1 page, that's fine. If there is a different symbol or gesture that really speaks peace to you, please, by all means, please use that in yours. So I'm just going to take a couple deep breaths. Focus on peace. What does peace mean in my body? What does peace mean in my mind? What does peace mean in my house? What does it mean in my community, in my work, in my church, in my state, in my country, in my world, right? So as you're drawing, whether you're tracing or doing a contour line drawing, take this time to just think quietly about Christ's peace and what it means to say the words, "The peace of Christ be with you," and to offer peace. But then what does it also to say in response when someone says, "The peace of Christ be with you," to you? What does that mean as a recipient? How do you receive the peace of Christ in your life? You could consider, how do you find peace in this moment of focused mark making. So I'm just pause for a moment as that first hand reaches out. And there is nothing wrong with getting finished with the first hand, probably drawn with your dominant writing hand, and deciding that you would prefer to do the second one as a traced hand. Drawing with the non-dominant hand is a challenge. I'm noticing my proportions are a little bit different. And it may be that the thumb of this second hand is extended out to offer peace beyond the edge of the page. This is a journal, not an artwork that I am making to sell or display. This is a page for my own meditation purposes. And so those imperfections, they're part of me They're part of my artistic identity, how I do what I do. And so it is really okay that this happens. So I have my hands reaching out and accepting, reaching out and offering. And so I'm going to play with some lettering. And I also, I'm trying to decide, because I'm going to grab this scrap paper here. I love the idea of, you know, sticking with these candles, right? We're in the 4th week, and do I want these candles, these fingers, to be little lights of Christ reaching out to others? It's a little silly, but at the same time, I kind of like it. And so I think I'm gonna do that. It's a matter of which one gets flames, right? Since we're on week 4, I'm gonna have 4 little flames, I think. Little, medium. And I am working, this is a permanent pen, so it's not going to smear if I decide to add water to it at some point, or color. I like the symmetry. It's a symmetrical, asymmetrical sort of sense, so I think I'll stick with that. And now those words, we say those words, we read those words, and today I'm going to illustrate them in a variety of languages, and I'll put them in the notes, in the description below the video, if you're interested in using these. So these are translations for the phrase, "The peace of Christ be with you," in languages spoken by members of my church. So that's where the choice of languages comes from. And I'm just going to play with different lettering. And I don't know at this point how much color I'm going to add. So, there's English. Then I'm going to do Spanish. Now, let's see here. We also have, and this was given to me by a member, so I'm trusting that translation is as best as it is the appropriate way. And so this is Cherokee, the Cherokee language, and I'm not going to attempt pronunciation of any of these other than my native English, out of respect for I would like to, and I'm not sure, I believe this is a phonetic that she gave me. I'm just going to pause for a minute. We also have Korean, and so now this is a little bit of a one of those language questions. Do I try to do it with the calligraphy letters, or do I use the... I'm going to try the calligraphy letters and just go carefully and slowly. Knowing that they're symbols, and I am not a computer. We also have Dutch. And I have to admit, I'm sort of organizing these a little bit visually, as well as with the words, but and we have an Indonesian speaking family. And I would encourage you to think about maybe friends and family who come from different places for your own heritage. What, where do you have connections around the world where you're thinking about perhaps mission connections? Let's see, I think I'll put the French up here. And I'm gonna squeeze in some German. I'd like to put in the Braille yet. And I wish there was a good way to do that physically on the page, but it's in a sketchbook, and so I'm not quite, I'd have to do something with dots that would, so since this is not a public artwork but a journal, I think I'm going to be okay with it just being visual. So I'm going to go ahead and stop with my words here, and I think I will still add just a light wash of purple to the hands and a little bit of yellow to the candles, but it's just going to be really subtle. Really simple, because purple is the color of the 4th week. Just that quick and basic. So, may the peace of Christ be with you as you continue to journey through this Advent season. Thank you for joining me today.